afternoon, good evening, good morning, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. And I'm Bob. Hello, Bob. How are you going? I'm good, thank you. It's good to be here. I'm glad that you've been able to join us today. It's always great that you are with us. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about choice. That's the thing. As an independent woman, I'm used to being strong in every aspect of my life. Yeah, telling me. Always showing resilience and fighting for every ounce of happiness I experience. But what I truly treasure and cherish is being treated with gentleness, because in a world where I'm always strong, those moments of gentleness, of softness, feel like a rare and a most precious gift. This is a different era we live in. Is it what? Or at the least that I live in. If it isn't reciprocated, I can't give you what you're not giving me. Like I choose pockets. What the hell? I'm teaching myself, well, at least my inspiration to teach myself to sew is so that I can have bloody pockets in my clothes. What is that all about? Which reminds me of, here we go. Hold your horses there, Bob. Have a listen to this. This is something written by Sharon Owens, and it's called Dangerous Coats. Someone clever once said women were not allowed pockets in case they carried leaflets to spread sedition, which means unrest. To you and me, a grandiose word for common sense, fairness, kindness, equality. So ladies, start sewing dangerous coats made of pockets and sedition. Wow, I love that when I read that. It's wonderful. This was on my very smart, cluey friend from Miami, Michelle. It was on her Instagram page and she inspired me to talk about choice. So thanks, Michelle. You're one hell of a woman. I also read, when life shuts a door, open it again. It's a door. That's how they work. Oh, I like that. No nonsense today. You know, you have this one life. How do you want to spend it? Oh, with frivolous activities and pizza? Yeah, that's about it. Do you want to spend it apologising? No. Questioning, regretting, hating yourself, dieting, running after people who don't see you? Be brave. Believe in yourself. Do what feels good. Take risks. You have this one life. Make yourself proud. This by Beardsley Jones. The awareness that women had choices in their lives has been a long and evolving journey, hasn't it? Marked by shifting societal structures, ideologies, and changing perceptions of gender roles. While the exact moment when women truly knew they had choices varies depending on historical, geographical and cultural contexts, we can trace key moments in history when this realisation began to take hold on a broader scale. A broader scale for the broads! You're lucky I like you, Bob. Yeah, I know, yeah. The early foundations, ancient societies and the influence of religion, such as those in Greece, Rome and Egypt, women often had roles that were confined to the household or specific social classes. However, there were notable exceptions. For example, women like Cleopatra in Egypt and Sappho in Greece managed to carve out significant influence in their societies, although their cases were exceptional. In general, though, women's autonomy was limited by patriarchal structures. Oh, how new? Who knew? I know, Bob. Even though we all have choices in life, many people tend to live in limitation mode. This often happens when individuals feel restricted by their circumstances, whether it's due to financial struggles, self-doubt, fear of failure, or societal expectations. That societal expectation malarkey is a common thread, I've noticed. Now, that is correct, Bob. People get stuck in a mental state that convinces them that they don't have the ability to make different decisions or live a life with more freedom. They allow their external conditions and internal fears to dictate what they're going to do and how they think. Their mindset. Yes, it's the mindset, and not knowing that they can actually choose, that they can choose to think differently, feel differently. People often turn to pills as a quick, seemingly easy solution to their problems rather than taking the more challenging but ultimately more fulfilling path of helping themselves. Now, I'm not talking about people who require medication at all, not at all. This is just more, getting high so as to not have to think yourself out of a situation that you could easily improve. I know that some people have said some ridiculous things to me over the years in varying situations, and I would have given anything to have had their problems unbelievable. But there you go. That's, something that we'll discuss further. So this tendency can be traced to a variety of psychological and societal factors. First, modern culture tends to prioritise instant gratification, doesn't it? In a world where things are delivered with the click of a button and information is available at lightning speed, it's no surprise then that many expect their problems to be solved just as quickly.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. Yeah, not to brag, but I don't even need alcohol to make bad decisions.
Good to know, Bob.
Yeah, thought I'd just make that clear. Yeah.
Medications are marketed as simple fixes that promise immediate relief or some kind of relief from symptoms or discomforts, whether physical or emotional. And the appeal of popping a pill to feel better now outweighs the effort and time required to engage in self-care or seek long-term solutions like therapy, lifestyle changes, or developing coping skills. Then there's religious influences.
No, I hate that.
It's all right, hang in there. In many ancient societies, further constrained women's choices. In Christianity, for example, the concept of woman as the helpmeet or the submissive partner reinforced the notion that women's roles were predetermined. This was echoed in other major religions where women were often seen as the bearers of children, caretakers, and moral guides within the home.
God, no wonder most of them must have gone bat stupid.
Well, yeah, I think, for a lot of very bright, highly intelligent women, they need more. Most people need more. And we generally do not function well in limitations, especially when it's thrust upon us. There's the Enlightenment and the rise of feminism between the 17th and 19th century. The 17th and 18th centuries brought the age of enlightenment where ideas about individual rights, liberty and equality began to emerge, and this intellectual movement laid the groundwork for feminist thought. Women began questioning traditional roles.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, and expressing desires for greater independence and wearing trousers.
What?
Yeah, a whole lot of things. So much has happened over the years.
Gee, you wouldn't want to be a girl, would you?
Well, you probably wouldn't, Bob.
Well, maybe I would.
Well, that's up to you. Oh, no, I'm not going down that road.
What road?
No, don't worry about it. Just tell jokes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, not to brag, but my post's enjoyed by well over 3 people worldwide.
That is a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, I think so. 3 more than you.
Probably. So Mary Wollstonecraft in her seminal work, Vindication of the Rights of Women, 1792.
1792, wow.
Well, she argued that women were not naturally inferior to men, but only appeared so because they lacked education and opportunities.
Yeah, but they weren't allowed it.
Well, that's right.
What a woman.
She called for women to be given equal access to education, which would allow them to make independent choices.
I may join the cicadas this summer and just scream for 6 weeks straight.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So during the 19th century, the first wave feminist movement emerged, with women advocating for the right to vote, own property, and have access to higher education.
People on House Hunters are always saying that they need room to entertain and guest bedrooms so families can visit. I need a moat filled with gators.
Oh, see what we can organise for you, Bob.
Yeah, would you?
I'll see. These efforts, alongside industrialisation and the rise of women in the workforce, played a crucial role in changing the mindset of what women could do in society.
I've reached an age where my train of thought often leaves the station without me.
Does it, Bob?
Yeah, I think it does.
This was when the first real broad-scale awareness started to form that women could not only imagine a different future, but actively work toward it.
It's been going on for a long time, like forever, hasn't it? I'm now at the age where picking up a hottie at the club means buying a rotisserie chicken at Costco. Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, I know. The suffrage movement and political empowerment arrived in the early 20th century. One of the most significant milestones in women realising they had choices came through the women's suffrage movement in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
Who knew that the hardest part of being an adult is figuring out what to cook for dinner every single night for the rest of your life until you die?
You have quite the way with words.
Yeah, I know, but geez.
Women began organising, protesting and fighting for their right to vote. The successful achievement of suffrage rights in countries such as New Zealand in 1893, the United States 1920 with the 19th Amendment, and the UK 1928 marked a clear, undeniable shift in the perception of women's roles in society.
I am not emotionally equipped to deal with the sound of a person chewing loudly.
Rightio.
Yeah, it's a condition, you know.
Yeah, apparently. This era also saw women gaining more freedom in terms of sexual and autonomy. The introduction of birth control in the 1960s, particularly the pill, played a crucial role in enabling women to make decisions about when and if they wanted to have children, giving them unprecedented control over their reproductive choices.
I had my patients tested. I'm negative.
Crikey. This had profound effects on their ability to pursue careers, education and personal goals without the burden of early motherhood.
Marvellous, marvellous. It's choice, isn't it? It's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The women's liberation movement and beyond, that's 1960s to the present time, the 1960s and 1970s brought the second wave feminist movement, which broadened the discussion around women's rights to include issues like workplace equality, reproductive rights, sexual liberation and freedom from violence.
Old age comes at a bad time. Just when I was beginning to know everything, I am now forgetting everything I knew.
It's a bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figures such as Betty Friedan, with her book The Feminine Mystique, 1963, challenged the idea that a woman's purpose was solely tied to marriage and motherhood. This period, alongside the civil rights movement and other social justice movements, gave rise to a new generation of women who could see a future filled with possibilities.
And choices, yes. If you ever sat in the toilet at work and wondered how long you can sit there before someone searches for you, the answer is 47 minutes.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it is.
With the advent of more women in higher education, professional fields and political leadership, the idea that women had a wider range of choices began to settle in.
I don't have grey hair, you know.
Well, what do you have?
I have wisdom highlights.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I think it sounds much better.
Women increasingly gained the legal rights and societal support to forge their own paths, whether they meant becoming doctors, scientists, athletes, business leaders, or political figures, and parent if they chose.
I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, like the first time I got married.
Yes, some of us can feel like that, I guess. Yes, that's right. Contemporary realities, the ongoing struggle. Today, women around the world continue to recognise and fight for choices in all areas of their lives, whether in reproductive health, professional ambitions or personal identities. The conversation around women's autonomy continues to evolve as we grapple with new challenges such as gender pay gap, representation in leadership roles, and the push for equal rights in all spheres of life.
Sometimes the thoughts in my head get bored, so they go out for a stroll through my mouth. This is really a good thing.
Sometimes I do wonder what comes out of your mouth, Bob.
And it turns out when you're asked who your favourite child is, you're expected to choose one of your own. Who knew?
Oh, Bob. Women now have greater access to higher education, the workforce and the political sphere than ever before. Movements like Me Too, the 4B movement, labelled as a radical feminist movement that originated in South Korea. The name 4B or 4 No's has 4 defining tenets. Do not date men, do not marry men, do not have sex with men or have children with men. The movement emerged around 2017 and showed up on Twitter in about 2019 and on the website WOMAD.
My coffee was so dark a demon mistook it for a portal to hell. Long story short, I need a new mug, a mop and possibly an exorcism. Yeah.
All of these tenets were formed as marital violence is the most prevalent form of family violence in Korea, and probably fairly, worldwide, I'd say, and the unequal distribution of labour. The 4B movement proposes that women focus on their own financial independence, including foregoing childbirth.
Even I think that sounds sensible.
Blessed are those bold in spirit who walk their own path. Yes,
Yeah, that's right.
that's right, yes.
You know, I came home and my dog peed a little because he's so happy to see me. None of my friends pee when they see me. I'm surrounded by fakes.
May your friends get good bladder control, Bob.
Yeah, right.
And so the growing awareness of intersectionality remind us that while significant strides have been made, the fight for equality and agency, it's far from over.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yet the collective realisation that women do have choices to build careers, pursue their passions, define their own identities and, as I say, control their own bodies. It's one of the defining features of modern gender relations. It's a massive movement now, which I'm delighted to see and be a part of.
So much is changing.
Yeah, I'm a woman in her 60s and for example, I could ask myself, is there anything I should stop wearing after the age of 60?
And
Truly, I'm not interested in the weight of others' opinions, so I don't ask myself. I wear what I like. Those statements in themselves don't sound like anything special in certain contexts, but it wasn't so long ago that you didn't see women in their 60s wearing jeans.
you wear jeans.
Yeah, or growing their hair long.
You grow your hair long.
Yeah, or leading a band.
You do that.
No, far in between. So to have choices and put them into living, everyday practice is my normal, and I love it, and I'm grateful for it because it's a choice and it is a thing, and I'm lucky that I do have that choice.
Oh, I saw what you did there.
In essence, the realisation that women have choices didn't come at a single moment, but has been an ongoing process, of course, influenced by changing societal, political and cultural forces. Women have had Jack.
Jack who?
Jack, we've had enough.
Of Jack?
Yeah, of Jack, Bob. While much progress has been made, women's fight for agency continues to shape societies globally. So I wear all my best and favourite perfumes, all my good clothes, my jewellery.
What's the occasion?
I am, Bob. I am.
Yeah, damn right there.
Feeling like we have choices is essential for our psychological well-being, sense of agency and personal growth.
Sorry for acting weird. I am weird. It will happen again.
Okay, Bob.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not really sorry.
Oh, I know. At the core, having choices and knowing we have them affirms our autonomy and reinforces the belief that our actions can shape outcomes.
Oh, yeah.
Without this sense of choice, life can begin to feel oppressive, disempowering, and even meaningless. Let's explore why this matters. What happens when we don't feel like we have choices, and the quiet impact of modelling and actively making choices, no matter how small.
That's the thing, isn't it? Even small, tiny ones.
Yeah. Why we need to feel like we have choices? Well, obviously for autonomy, freedom, our well-being. Human beings are wired to seek autonomy. We want to feel like we are authors of our own lives. When we feel that we have choices, even limited ones, we feel more free, more alive. Like I have silver in my hair, gold in my heart, and steel in my veins, and I know my worth.
Oh, yeah, I do like that.
Hashtag choice. That's the thing. Autonomy supports motivation, confidence, and mental resilience. That's a thing, isn't it? It sure is. It fuels creativity, and it gives us that lovely sense of direction. Choice creates ownership.
I can't wait to walk down the aisle someday and hear those magical words. This is your pilot speaking. Yeah, pilot, yeah.
Terrible. When we make a choice, even in small routine matters, we are more likely to take responsibility for the outcome. This fosters a growth mindset. The role of hope, feeling like we have choices, even amid constraints, keeps hope as a front runner. It lets us believe change is possible, that the present isn't permanent, and that we have some influence over what comes next. This is especially important in difficult times.
No matter how big and bad you are, when a 2-year-old hands you a toy phone, you answer it, all right?
Very true. It's so cute. What happens when we feel powerless or choiceless?
Yeah, what happens?
Learned helplessness. Repeatedly experiencing situations where choices seem unavailable or irrelevant can lead to learned helplessness, and that we can all do without. It can be a state where people stop trying, or even when opportunities for action exist, it can lead to depression and disengagement.
Pistified, the state of being equal parts of pissed off and mystified at the same time.
Let's keep that in mind. I quite like that.
Yeah, me too.
We can risk getting stuck in victim mode.
Oh, no.
When people feel they don't have choices, they often begin to frame themselves as a perpetual victim of circumstance.
Don't do it.
This mindset can trap us in cycles of blame and perhaps resentment. It reduces our ability to change or influence our environment. And I think we've all been there one way or another, and it isn't pleasant.
Yeah, that's right.
Erosion of identity. A life without choices leads to a fractured or stagnant sense of self.
Hey, I heard this the other day about being a drama queen. Someone who creates their own storms and then cries when it rains.
Oh, I like that, Bob.
Yeah, me too.
We are partly built through our decisions. Who we become is shaped by what we choose to pursue or let go of. Without choice, the development of a coherent, evolving self gets stunted.
Today I learnt that the average adult drops 80 to 90 curse words a day. Today I learnt I'm above average at something.
Why modelling choice matters for yourself and others. It's a way of leading. Modelling choice, being intentional, showing that even small decisions matter, invites others to do the same. I love feeling inspired.
We need adult water parks, no kids, just a lazy river with a floating bar, live music on stage and a taco truck.
Thanks for that.
That's all right.
It interrupts default living. Many people go through life on autopilot. Hell, I've done it myself and much prefer conscious living.
Oh, yes.
By demonstrating that we can pause, reflect and choose, even just what to eat, how to speak, when to speak maybe, when to rest. We resist the inertia of unconscious living.
Some call it multitasking. I call it doing something else while I try to remember what I was doing in the first place.
Having sense of choice creates micro moments of empowerment. Oh my gosh, that's so true. That have the opportunity to get bigger and more impactful. Choosing how to respond instead of reacting on impulse can be a radical act of self-respect.
I was thinking someone who owes you money and someone who is not into you are two of the busiest people on the planet.
Actually, you got true words there, Bob. You got a point. It reminds us that we are not at the mercy of emotions or environments. These micro acts build trust in ourselves. So, #choice. That's the thing. The power of small choices. It's not just the big decisions, changing careers, ending relationships, moving cities that define us. It's also the everyday ones. Choosing to take a deep breath before replying. Choosing to get out of bed and stretch. Choosing to reach out to a friend. Choosing to turn off the news and take a walk. Choosing to eat something nourishing. Choosing curiosity instead of judgment. Choice isn't just a right, it's a habit. And like any habit, it gets easier with practice. And that is the end for the day.
Oh, thank God for that.
Well, that's nice. So we'll see you next time, Bob.
Okay then.
So say good day to the family for me. Give the snake a rake. And we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then. Bye.
Bye.